Ladies and gentlemen, welcome again to our 9 p.m. English News Edition. Here are the top stories. The President of the Republic, His Excellency Mr. Ismail Margeli, warmly welcomes his French counterpart on an official 48 hours visit. Closing of the International Colloquium on the Djiboutian Archives with the Prime Minister. And for the international news, at least 32 dead in several Israeli strikes in the UN calls on the ICG. The details on this news edition. Welcome to our newsroom, ladies and gentlemen. As I mentioned on the headline, is the President of the Republic, His Excellency Mr. Ismail Margeli, welcomed his French counterpart, President Emmanuel Macron, who began a 48-hour official visit. This visit marks an important moment on the bilateral relations between the two countries. President Margeli gave a warm welcome to his French counterpart, Emmanuel Macron, in the early evening as he arrived in Djibouti to begin a 48-hour visit aimed at strengthening the ties of friendship and cooperation between the two countries and peoples. As a sign of the highest honor, President Macron was given all the ceremonial protocols reserved for the most distinguished guests received by the country. Upon disembarking from the plane, the French president was welcomed by President Ismail Margeli, followed by a handshake exchange. This simple yet eloquent gesture symbolized the shared desire to strengthen the historical bonds between France and Djibouti. Red carpets, military review, and a guard of honor all were meticulously executed under the direct guidance of President Gele in honor of the French head of state's visit to Djibouti. Djibouti and France have long-standing ties forged through history and cultural and linguistic proximity. The privileged nature of the relationship between the two countries reflects the eminently strategic partnership they share in all areas of development. Following this, the President of the Republic, His Excellency Mr. Ismail Mergeli, had an initial meeting with his French counterpart, President Emmanuel Macron, in the VIP lounge. This meeting was undoubtedly focused on defining new strategic cooperation projects of major mutual interest, which will be beneficial for both nations. The highlight of this visit will be the private audience that President Macron will have tomorrow morning, Saturday, with his Djiboutian counterpart. The expanded audience will clearly serve as a significant occasion for inventory, consultation, and discussion on ways to accelerate the implementation and completion of cooperation program. A joint press conference with his Djiboutian counterpart will crown the various stages of President Macron's visit. Later in the late morning, President Macron will be honored guest at the lunch hosted by President Ismail Mergele in his name and that of the important delegation accompanying him. An important delegation including the Minister for Europe and Foreign Affairs, Mr. John Noel Barrot, the Minister of Armed Forces, Mr. Sébastien Lecornu, the French Ambassador to Djibouti, Mrs. Dana, and Chief of Staff of the Armed Forces, and Veteran General Thierry Boucard. Under the high patronage of the Prime Minister, His Excellency Mr. Abdul Qadir Kamil Mohammed, the International Conference on National Archives organized by the National Agency for the Promotion of Culture concluded at the auditorium of the National Library, in addition of the Prime Minister and Ministry of Youth and Culture. The event was attended by several government members, parliamentarians, the Secretary General of the government, Mr. Almes Mohamed Abdullahi, the General Manager of the Agency for the Promotion of Culture, Mr. Mohamed Hussein, and the Program Officer for Media and Information Literacy at the UNESCO Regional Office for East Africa. The objective of this conference was to provide a detailed assessment of the current state of archives, including the organization and preservation of documents. The conference served as a unique opportunity to strengthen international cooperation in the field of archiving and to support Djibouti's effort to preserve its documentary heritage for future generations. Mr. Jacques Trompon, a former teacher of and geography professor in several schools in the capital and Tajura from 1965 and 1991, played a key role in the preservation for our collective memory. During the conference, in the presence of the Prime Minister, the President of the National Assembly, and the Ministry of Youth and Culture, he officially donated a private archive collection of inestimable value to the National Archives Department. This gesture enriches our national heritage and provides future generations with privileged access to historical documents. And now the director of the ANPC, Mr. Mohammed Hussein, emphasized that the invaluable importance of the historical document in the preservation of the collective memory, stressing their crucial role in maintaining the cultural identity and historical community of the nation. And as for the Prime Minister, he stated that the preservation of documents is essential for enriching our national heritage as it safeguards our history and cultural identity. He further emphasized that this effort provides future generations with privileged access to our collective memory, enabling them to learn from the past, draw lessons from it, and continue building a more united nation based on a deep understanding of its historical roots. And now the University of Djibouti hosted a significant ceremony yesterday with the official inauguration of the new multidisciplinary chemistry laboratory attended by the Minister of Higher Education and Research, Dr. Nabil Mohammed, and the Ambassador of Japan to Djibouti. This laboratory, fully equipped with the technical and financial support of JICA, is part of the SAT-REPS project titled Innovative and Sustainable Methods for Water Use for Ecological Potential Assessment in the Republic of Djibouti. The project aims to promote scientific solutions for sustainable water resources management, the sustainable water resource management in the country, thus contributing to the fight against desertification and environmental improvement. The laboratory will enable in-depth research on the sustainable use of water, a crucial issue for Djibouti, while providing students and researchers with modern space for their work. Through this project, JICA reaffirms its commitment to supporting sustainable development through innovative scientific research initiative. This new laboratory represents a promising step towards strengthening local capacities and integrating Djibouti into global efforts for environmental sustainability. This inauguration symbolizes not only a technological advancement, but also a fruitful partnership between Djibouti and Japan, uniting their forces to tackle the challenges of tomorrow. The Minister of Higher Education, Dr. Nabil Mohammed, emphasized that these innovative and sustainable methods of water use for assessing the ecological potential in the Republic of Djibouti are designed to promote scientific solutions for the sustainable management of the country's water resources. This initiative is is crucial for addressing pressing environmental challenges, including desertification, and for ensuring that Djibouti's water resources are managed efficiently for the benefits of future generations. And now on December 18, 2024, the Minister of Environment and Sustainable Development, His Excellency Mr. Mohammed Abdul Qadir Musa, Special Envoy of the President of Djibouti, His Excellency Mr. Ismail Malgeli, was received by His Excellency Madam Justice Majara, Acting Prime Minister of Lesotho. During the meeting, the Djiboutian envoy delivered a written message from the President of the Republic of Djibouti to His Majesty the King of Lesotho. The message expressed support for the candidacy of His Excellency Mr. Mahmoud Al Yusuf, Djibouti's Minister of Foreign Affairs, for the position of Chairperson of the African Union Commission. His Excellency Madam Majara reaffirmed that the strong relations between the two countries and assured the Minister that Djibouti's candidacy will be presented to the next Council of Ministers for approval. Under the initiative of the Ministry of Women and Family, a workshop on the national strategy for the abandonment of female genital mutilation was recently held, bringing together key stakeholders in the fight against this harmful practice. The event gathered representatives from the National Police, the Gendarmerie, Minister of Women and Family, and delegates from UNICEF. The workshop provided an opportunity to assess the progress made since the adoption of the national strategy, while also identifying ongoing challenges. Discussion highlighted the need for increased collaboration between law enforcement, government institutions, and international partners to strengthen awareness campaigns and preventive action. Participants reaffirmed their commitment to working together to end female genital mutilation, ensuring a safer and brighter future for young girls. The Secretary General of the Ministry of Women and Family opened the proceeding by emphasizing the crucial importance of this workshop in implementing national policies aimed at protecting girls and women from these harmful practices. Colonel Wais Omar Bokore, Commander of the Coast Guard of Djibouti, had the honor of welcoming distinguished guests, including the Director General of the DMP PDSA, Mr. Jama Ibrahim Darar, as well as Mr. Mahmoud Abdi Mawel, Director of Ports Secure Djibouti. The series of specific maritime training courses which concluded with this ceremony included navigation training to acquire the basic knowledge needed from piloting small boats and seamanship, training on radio transmission and communication techniques which are vital for maintaining contact with the Coast Guard's maritime patrol teams during their sea missions, basic training on handling weapons, and specialized training in the maintenance of radio equipment which was provided to the agents of Port Secure Djibouti. The ceremony began with the recitation of verses from the Holy Quran delivered by Lieutenant Abdul Latif Habib Mohammed. The event continued with the presentation of certificates to the trainees who successfully completed this series of course. The Colonel Wais Omar Bogore emphasized that the training component is one of the cornerstones of the development of the Djibouti Coast Guard, as it plays a key role in improving the operational effectiveness and professionalism of the forces. He reiterated that continuous training is vital to ensure the readiness of the Coast Guard in fulfilling its crucial mission of safeguarding Djibouti's coast borders. The director of Ports Secure Djibouti, Mahmoud Abdi, congratulated the agents of his department who successfully completed this training and warmly thanked all those involved in making this training a success. He expressed pride in their achievement and stressed the importance of their newly acquired skills in enhancing the safety and security of the ports. Taking the floor in turn, Mr. Jama Ibrahim, the Director General of the DMP PDSA, highlighted the importance of training in the professional development of port personnel. He added that such initiative not only improve the competencies of individual agents, but also contribute to the overall efficiency and security of Djibouti's port operations, which are crucial for the country's economy. The National Union of Djiboutian Women, UNFD, in collaboration with UNICEF, organized an advocacy meeting with imams and community leaders from the Bilateral and Balbala neighborhoods to raise awareness among mothers about the malnutrition of their children. Malnutrition is often the result of a lack of food quality rather than a lack of quantity. It is a long-term condition characterized by stunting growth. It can be treated once established, which is why it is important to take preventive action beforehand. North of the country now, as part of his official duties, the prefect of the Obok region, Mr. Musa Aden Migene, carried out a working visit to the locality of Alili Dada. Accompanied by the Vice President of the Obok Regional Council and his main collaborators, the prefect was warmly and festively welcomed by the people of Alili Dada, who honor tradition with the dromedaries. A meeting was then held in a community hall specially set up for the occasion. The community representatives then voiced their concerns. In response, the prefect expressed his gratitude for the warm welcome and affirmed that the rehabilitation of this central road was a prerequisite for his visit. He promised to continue effort to address the raised needs and announced several upcoming projects to support the development of this locality. After the meeting, the prefect of the region took a guided tour of the state infrastructures in Alei Dada including the primary school, the school canteen, the health center, and the community gardens. This visit aimed to demonstrate his commitment alongside the community. It concluded with the distribution of essential items, including water filtration, jerrycans, kitchen utensils, impregnated mosquito nets, and new clothing for the children. Through this initiative, the prefect reaffirmed his tangible support for this locality community. And for the international news, as I mentioned on the titles, at least 32 people have been killed in several Israeli airstrikes in Gaza. The bombing of Al Kamarama and Shaban schools in eastern Gaza City left 13 martyrs, including women and children, with about 30 other injured. Another 13 people were killed in a separate airstrike on a group trying to collect water in the Al Shati refugee camp. The UN General Assembly approved a resolution urging the International Court of Justice to clarify Israel's humanitarian obligation towards Palestinians, especially regarding the unhindered delivery of aid. The solution proposed by Norway was passed with 137 votes in favor, 12 against, and 22 abstention. Over 45,000 Palestinians, mostly civilians, have been killed in the ongoing Israeli military campaign, according to the Minister of Health of Gaza. This is it of this news edition, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching us, and stay tuned for more on RTD.